come on, bro. Like they popped for Jay and Gunther, but even that match didn't get the explosion reaction I was actually expecting it to receive. Like they were not nearly as loud as I thought they'd be for Jay.
Even the Punk entrance was not as loud as I thought it was going to be.
Punk's pop was underwhelming. And I was like, okay.
Like, we thought it was going to be so much bigger than it actually was.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because there's like fucking 25 less thousand people than last year, but I mean, well, you know what? It was it an open roof stadium?
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No.
So then I don't know then, because then the decibel levels, like the reverberation effect of all that sound should have been bouncing all over the fucking place.
I mean, it's a big ass stadium. Honestly, there was like over 60,000 people there.
Yeah,
so.
But it seats 72. So it was just like, I mean, there were moments where the crowd was like awesome, but for everybody at home, man, it was a big point of contention online while you guys were in that stadium. Like, yo, what's with the crowd?
Yeah, it was also. It's kind of hard for the crowd to be in sync with the cheering and stuff, like in a big arena like that, compared to like a 15,000 seat arena.
And I get it, but like, I mean, certain matches, you guys were awesome, but there were like some matches where I completely understand. Like, no, who the fuck cares about War Raiders versus New Day? You know. But I mean, they popped heavy for Dom. That might have been one of the loudest pops of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
But for John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, the crowd sucked.
They were booing the hell out.
I don't know, man. I was there.
Booing the hell out of Cody.
At least the people that I was sitting next to were popping for everything.
But they were quiet as fuck for that match.
Yeah.
Starting to wonder how much they actually paid to sit in those seats that are like right next to the fucking ramp up top.
I know those seats for a fact. Like, let me put it into perspective.
Like the juice box.
Let me put it into perspective. Fucking the seats that are in the first like 4 rows at Mania in 08 here in Florida when I went to, and my brother, even though I was catering the event, my brother and his grandma were literally 4 rows back from the actual ring. Those tickets for those seats in 2008 were $900 a piece.
Means now,
and that's 08. We're talking 17 years later with inflation.
Shout out to Jay. My love says, did you enjoy WrestleMania 41? I actually did. I had a great time.
This asshole was there.
By the way, you guys, we are live for another episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast. The crew is here with me. Mr. Blood Toxic, Tommy, and BT Knight. We're a little late on the WrestleMania review, and it's completely my fault. I just came back from Vegas, and we're going to talk about not the whole entire card, because I was in the stadium. I was going to sit there and fucking, take notes of every single match and, break every match down, because I was actually trying to enjoy the show. And I did. So we're going to talk about the main matches. We're going to talk about Jey Uso versus Gunther. We're going to talk about the main event triple threat match. We're going to talk about the Intercontinental Championship match. And we're going to talk about John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. So that's, if we got time, we'll probably throw a little bit of Randy and Joe Hendry in there, because I thought some of the response this match was getting was pretty insane. I think it's worth mentioning. So, we got started talking about the fans in the arena. There was over 60,000 fans, and I guess a lot of the WWE fans that weren't in the arena, I don't know, maybe they were just jealous of us people there in Vegas in attendance that were saying that the crowd in Vegas wasn't that great. Some people were actually like petitioning, never bring WrestleMania back to Las Vegas ever again. That's how bad the crowd was. But yeah, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't see any of that backlash. But Mr. Blood, just really quick, fill me in a little bit more on that.
Yeah, so I was live on TikTok Live for a combined roughly 4 hours, 50 minutes on night 1, 3 hours and 32 minutes on night 2. So I was live for a while. And in my chats, and while I'm also online following along with everybody posting in real time, there was a whole thing that by the end of the weekend, there was like a tweet that I saw that was like, never bring Vegas back, or never bring Mania back to Vegas. This crowd sucks. It had like fucking 700,000 fucking likes. It had like over 20,000 retweets, and it was gaining traction. And then I started seeing posts like that everywhere. Then I started seeing dozens upon dozens of TikToks everywhere of people watching in real time. And it became a thing where, for all of us, like the crowd was like, and maybe we're getting spoiled with the international crowds, but like, I'm sorry. Vegas, like, even though on like in Philadelphia last year for 40, night 1, the crowd's energy level was low because they were freezing their balls off. Okay. And then night 2, when it warmed up, the crowd was fantastic. But even the crowd on night 1 last year, standing out there in freezing temperatures in an open arena stadium, they had more energy than most of the crowd night 1 and 2 combined coming across the screen for everybody watching at home. And you'll be like, oh, maybe it's your TV. I have a 4K Ultra HD TV with Dolby Digital 2.0 surround sound, so I can hear just fine. The crowd was just not into a lot of these matches. I don't fully blame them for some of the builds, but at the same time, like,
so here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Y'all weren't into it that much.
Here's the thing. When it comes to like the crowd reactions in the arena in person are a lot different than how they come across on TV. Now, for example, here's an example. The Dominic Mysterio boos. For the longest time, a lot of fans were saying that there were piped in boos, and take it from someone who was in the arena not just once, but multiple times when Dominic Mysterio was out there getting booed. Those were not piped in noises. Like, those boos were loud as fuck. And they sound a lot more louder in person than on TV. The camera angles, they don't really do the fans justice, because I can guarantee you, as being someone that was in attendance in the arena, people were cheering and people were popping nonstop for their favorite moments. Like, even for the Cody and Cena match, the crowd was loud. When Cena won, the crowd was loud. When Cena came out, the crowd was loud. When Cody came out, I mean, the only the people that weren't there are saying, the crowd wasn't that live. Maybe it wasn't as loud as like a Puerto Rican crowd, but also when they were in Puerto Rico, there was like 15,000 people in the arena.
Non-saturated market, but at the same time, Puerto Rico was kind of the bar setter for crowds after that for a while. But I've rewatched that match, the Cody John match, twice now. Throughout the majority of the actual match taking place, the entrances is one thing, the win is one thing. During the majority of the match taking place, I've watched that match a total of 3 times now. It was pretty fucking dead through a lot of that match. And a lot of people online were blaming it on John Cena, saying that he wasn't as aggressive as they hoped he would. It was too slow paced. Like, the majority consensus is the match was boring and it was too slow. Am I the only one who saw all this shit online about all these comments? Anybody else, raise your hand if you saw an amalgamation of these responses online about the match between Cody and John being boring, too slow, not enough aggression from John, because it's everywhere. I mean, I got thousands of views on my videos about the match, and I've got fucking dozens of comments about all saying the same thing, and the same thing on everybody else's trying to defend the match. Hundreds of comments on their posts too. It's not like just a couple people. It's thousands. I
haven't had the time to be online to hear any of, like, I already know people are always going to have their opinions or whatever. But again, I just go back to when you're there in person, it's a completely different story.
Oh, and I completely agree. It's different when your ears are literally in the room. I personally thought the match I thought the match was good in the match. I even said it in my review. I said, I thought the match itself was pretty damn fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's the finish everybody's got a problem with. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I just think either the fans in attendance didn't give it the amount of love I think we were hoping they would. But I will really hearken it to the point that I desperately think we got spoiled with the international crowds. I think that's really what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
We got spoiled with how loud they were, and now none of the U.S. crowds feel nearly as good in comparison.
Yeah. I mean, again, when these European crowds, they're lit. But again,
Yeah.
when they go to Europe, they're in 15,000 seat arenas. We're talking about over 60,000 fucking people.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, you know.
But it's also a completely unsaturated market like the U.S. So these people have been clamoring for this shit, forever. So they scream 2 times as loud because they don't know when they're going to get it again.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, let's get started with the Jey Uso and Gunther match, fellas. Jey Uso pulled off the big victory versus Gunther. After, I mean, no matter what people are gonna say, they're gonna hate on the match, but I thought it was one hell of a match. Not just because Jey Uso won, but how he won with the tap out, with the choke, with Gunther's choke of all moves. The move that Gunther has been beating people left and right. Again, people hate on Gunther. Oh, he does the same moves over and over again, and he just does this. He's a sleeper. Well, a sleeper hold in the opening match of WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Champion got a huge fucking pop after Jey Uso submitted the ring general Gunther. I was hoping it was going to be Gunther to get it back. I gotta say that Yeet movement is fucking contagious. I was really happy to see Jey Uso win the damn thing. It was a great moment, and I mean, what else can we say about this, guys? BT, let's go with you first.
Whirlwind of emotions watching this match. And the video package on Monday Night Raw just made it 10 times better. I loved the choice of song that they used. By the way, I was singing the crap out of that song. Love Macklemore. Shout out to him. This fucking match, they gave the fans and the critics what they fucking wanted. Jey can wrestle. He added more moves onto his arsenal. Did a power bomb on Gunther, bro. And didn't just beat him like that. He beat him with 2 extra super kicks, 3 Uso splashes, and then the fucking tap out. But did you see the look on Jay's face before he hit the tap out? Before he was going to choke him out? He was in a dark place. He needed to let the demons out, and with that chokehold, I feel like he did that. And Gunther tapped out in 6.5 seconds, and I was screaming. I was so excited, bro. Jey Uso fully deserves everything that he has gotten. To all the people that are hating on this match, I think the main reason why they hate it is, one, they were expecting a blood feud because of how they built it. And they were expecting blood itself. But not a lot of matches need blood. They don't. And this match is one of those ones where you don't need something like that to amp up how important this match is. And then there's just those people that's like, this was the worst main event in history. Gunther is buried. Why the fuck is Jey Uso turning up to the press conference drunk as world champion when y'all motherfuckers are the same ones that laugh your asses off a year and a half ago when he won the unified tag titles with Cody. Like, honestly, they're nitpicky as fuck. They're never satisfied, so fuck the haters. And congratulations to Jey Uso. You deserve it. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet!
Fuck. I was gonna say something there that. Anyway, doesn't matter. I guess it wasn't that important. Tommy, let's go first. Let's go next with you.
My boy, let's go. He absolutely deserved this. And for the people that are over here saying, oh, all he can do is super kicks, all he can do is kicks and splashes. I'm sorry, how many super kicks were there? 2. And guess where they were at? The end of the match. He did not even use a single super kick throughout the entirety of that match until closer to the end. And when it comes to the splash, Gunther did more splashes than Jay did on Saturday. Gunther, a man who was not known for his splashes, he still did more of those than Jay did. He absolutely deserves this. And then the ending, where he's celebrating and all of that, and all of a sudden, you pan back to the ring, and who's standing there? Jimmy. That right there, just it almost made me cry there. It had me tearing up. Because after everything those two have been through, that there, perfect. Just perfect. It was just way too perfect to the point where I don't even know how to put this match into words.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remembered that what I was gonna say earlier is like, no, this match didn't need blood. I mean, it was the opening match. Not every match needs to have blood, but Jey Uso was still announced as main event Jey Uso, even though this was the opening match. He was still called main event Jey Uso, which I thought was funny.
Criticizing him for showing up drunk at the press conference, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure if you won one of the biggest titles of your career, you would party by getting drunk off your ass too.
Jesus fucking people were really mad about that.
Oh yeah.
People have no fucking lives.
It was all over Twitter. They were criticizing him for everything, and I'm like, why were you celebrating it when he won the unified tag titles with Cody? You guys didn't have a problem making memes about it.
Him and Cody were drunk as fuck on that press event too.
People have no fucking lives.
It's like, dude, it's like, look, this is the biggest moment of his career. He was the first match of the night with fucking 3.5 hours left to go before the presser. Man can't toss a couple back and for 3.5 hours while he's waiting and hanging out with his family backstage and just chilling and enjoying the win of his career. Like
in Vegas.
Get a life. Yeah, in Vegas. Like, and then he went out to a club with his brother afterwards too, because we saw those videos online. It's like, dude, if this is the first world title of your career, Jay has been in this company now for over 16 years, 17 years now.
Yeah.
This is his first world title. Let the man celebrate this shit. Come on. If it was you, you'd be as soon as I tell you what, as soon as I got backstage 4, I took a shower. I'd be like, where are the shots? Line them up. We're all doing them together.
I literally went to the Undertaker show, the Undertaker show the night after WrestleMania 1, and guess what he was doing throughout the whole entire show?
Taker gets tossed on the Dead Man show.
He was taking shots of whiskey during the fucking show. Like,
he'll go through a whole bottle of Jack Daniels right there in one show. They mention it on the One Dead Man Show podcast all the time. One time they had The Godfather on, they got in trouble.
People are so okay. He told that story again, by the way, which that's why I was like, ugh, yeah.
Like, but look, Jay deserved to fucking celebrate after so much of that, you know. He is great. This match was, in my opinion, awesome. And people are like, it wasn't violent enough, it wasn't brutal enough, it should have been a blood feud. Dude, let me ask you this. If someone spears you in the gut, kicks you as hard as they can in the face twice, jumps their 220-pound frame through the air on your stomach twice, then on your back across your ribs once. Now you're gasping for air, you're half conscious, your ribs hurt, you can't breathe, you feel like you got a collapsed lung, and then when you stand up trying to get a little bit of breath, now they're gonna choke the life out of you? As far as I'm concerned, Jay was pretty fucking brutal at the end there. He made Gunther suffer.
Yeah, he did.
Let's be honest. That wasn't like people wanted a blood feud. Dude, that was vicious. It was vicious. He said, "You got to pray. I'm gonna have to pray forgiveness for what I do to you." Kicked him in the face twice. Jumped across his rib cage 3 times after he threw 220 pounds of his body weight into his stomach for a spear. And then sleeper hold. Yeah, dude, I'm tapping out quick too. I can't breathe. Call me fucking George Floyd. I can't breathe. Get off me. Let me go. I get it. People think, oh, they buried Gunther. No, dude, be realistic. If you and I walk up to each other in the street, Snug, if I tackled you into the ground and I kicked you in the face twice and I jumped off the nearest banister I could find on you 3 times without stopping, there was, by the way, that entire sequence was within a minute and 45 to 2 minutes without stopping. You can't catch a breath. You can't catch reprieve. You can't fucking breathe. You can't stand up to calm down. You're just getting hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after a choke. Are you going to just go, please stop? Are you going to beg me to stop? You're going to beg me to stop.
Yeah, it was a quick tap out.
Yeah, I don't blame Gunther for tapping quick.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm done, dude. Because Jey Uso attacked his ribs the entire match. He went after the stomach the entire match. The backdrop neck breaker, which lands on your back. Okay? He kicked him in the stomach, punched him in the stomach, fucking power bombed his ass in the freaking stomach, speared him in the stomach, splashed him in the fucking stomach. Dude, I can't breathe. You're you had me in a chokehold. And now you've cinched your legs and your knees into my rib cage to fully lock it in. A rear naked choke. Yes, I'm done. Okay, you win. I'm sorry. Please let me go. Someone call a doctor. Get this guy away from me. Like, that was a pretty realistic finish for if that happened, you would realize if someone really had done that to you in real life, beat you down that much without a moment of reprieve, you would have tapped in 5 seconds too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that they buried Gunther. They proved that Jay literally forced Gunther to the limit of giving up because he beat him until he couldn't take any more. That's what that finish was. It made perfect fucking sense. Jay fucking deserved that moment. He got vindication for Jimmy. And it was beautiful. So motherfuckers with me, Tommy, Toxic, BT, I'm sorry, but 4 letters, 1 word.
And for the people going, oh yeah, like he can't get drunk. Look at where they were at. Just look at where they were at. Vegas is not two things.
The only person in that city not drunk were the children and CM Punk.
Yep.
Shit, I'm still drunk. Go ahead, Toxic. Let's hear your thoughts.
4 letters, 1 word. I am so happy. I almost cried because that's one of my day ones right there. He's one of the ones that got me into wrestling, and now to see him as a world champion blows my fucking mind. That entire win at WrestleMania proves to every single one you can do anything you put your fucking mind to. Anything. No matter how many people bring you down, no matter what goes on, you just gotta push so you give your all. That's exactly what Jay proved in that match. Once again,
4 letters, 1 word. Gate.
Yeah, it was one hell of a way to kick off WrestleMania night 1 with a big match like that, a big victory with Jey Uso. The fucking place blew up, and man, it was exciting to see everything from the entrance all the way to the big finish. Yeah, definitely one hell of a match.
It makes you wonder if that's going to be their format going forward, by the way. Having the World Heavyweight Championship open night 1, because that's 2 years in a row now they've done that.
Mm-hmm. Could be. You guys,
the World
they did
Championship
it. Yes, they did it last
year
year with
opened,
Seth and
yeah, it opened night 2.
No,
It opened night
open
2.
night 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Seth
Yeah.
and 2 open.
Yeah,
I
because
apologize.
Seth did the.
I apologize, but I definitely
you did
think
the
it
tag
could be
team.
the
Yeah, you did the tag team match first.
You're
then,
correct. You're correct. I apologize, but I
all
definitely
good.
think it seems like the format going forward, where they're going to use the world title to be an opener on one of the nights if the undisputed main events. That's kind of what it feels like. Start strong, finish strong type thing is what I mean.
You guys, I hate to do this to y'all, man. We're gonna have to continue this review tomorrow or something because I'm fucking beat. We still got 3 matches to talk about. I don't think I can stay up.
That's fine. We were planning on doing shit on Tuesday anyway. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pick this up tomorrow. I just came back from Vegas, so I'm fucking...
Nah, man, get some sleep and rest those tired ass eyes and
Yeah, but
drink some water.
yeah,
Drink
we'll
some
fast
water and
forward.
coffee.
Yeah, we'll
Drink some
fast
fucking
forward.
water, Snug.
Up, my friend.
We'll fast forward to
Yeah.
the future, and we'll talk about the other 3 matches that we have lined up. So stay tuned tomorrow for the triple threat match. We're also going to talk about what else?
It
My
was the
bad.
way, and then it was the undisputed.
There
And
you
Joe
go.
Hendry.
All right, y'all. We'll see you
Maybe-
guys in a bit.